The episode begins with Mordecai and Rigby arriving late to work after oversleeping, rushing across the park while Benson is already in a tornado of frustration over their usual irresponsibility. The day starts like countless others. Mordecai and Rigby doing the bare minimum, slacking whenever Benson isn't looking, distracting Pops with random conversations, and turning simple tasks into chaotic messes. But this time Benson's patience is at its absolute limit. After they accidentally knock over a carefully organized pile of supplies Benson spent the whole morning arranging, he finally snaps in a way that feels heavier than his usual yelling. Instead of threatening them with extra chores, he calls a park-wide meeting and announces a drastic decision. He has hired 2 new workers to help around the park, workers who actually care about their jobs. As soon as the announcement is made, the new employees step forward. Their names are Chad and Jeremy, 2 tall, energetic, extremely enthusiastic workers who carry themselves like action movie heroes and camp counselors rolled into one. They speak with professional confidence, salute Benson, and say they're ready to elevate park productivity to maximum efficiency. Immediately, the other park employees react with surprise. Pops claps politely. High Five Ghost is neutral but curious. Muscle Man feels threatened in a comedic macho way, and Skips quietly senses the emotional impact this will have on Mordecai and Rigby. The duo themselves are stunned, at first confused, then slightly offended, and eventually full-on panicked when they realize these new guys are clearly better at their jobs. Benson begins assigning tasks, and Chad and Jeremy execute every single one flawlessly. They mow the lawn with precision, repair broken equipment with ease, and organize the supply shed faster than Benson has ever seen. Worse for Mordecai and Rigby, the new workers do all this with upbeat energy, friendly smiles, and a level of motivation that makes Mordecai and Rigby look like background props. Benson praises them non-stop, making Mordecai and Rigby feel even more invisible and replaceable. The emotional sting grows when Pops compliments the newcomers' excellent manners, Skips acknowledges their efficiency, and even Muscle Man grudgingly admits they're kind of cool. Mordecai and Rigby begin to fear that Benson is preparing to fire them for good. Their panic transforms into determination as they decide they must prove they're still useful. They attempt to outwork Chad and Jeremy, but it immediately goes horribly wrong. When they try mowing the lawn faster, they accidentally shred several flower beds. When they try to organize the garage, they knock over an entire shelf of tools. When they try repairing equipment, they make everything worse. Chad and Jeremy swoop in each time to fix the mess effortlessly, smiling politely but clearly overshadowing them. Benson, thrilled with his new hires, starts hinting that he might not need certain workers anymore. Mordecai and Rigby hear this and assume the worst. Feeling threatened, they come up with a desperate plan. Spy on Chad and Jeremy to find flaws or weaknesses that would make Benson reconsider replacing them. Their spying attempts are exaggerated and ridiculous, involving disguises, hiding in bushes, and eavesdropping from impossible angles. But each time they watch the new workers, they find nothing wrong. Chad and Jeremy are friendly, responsible, helpful, and genuinely good at everything. This only frustrates Mordecai and Rigby more. Their insecurity reaches a breaking point when they overhear Benson inviting Chad and Jeremy to take on responsibilities that used to be theirs, making it sound like their firing is imminent. In a moment of reckless panic, Rigby suggests sabotaging the new workers so that Benson will fire them instead. Mordecai reluctantly agrees, despite knowing it's a terrible idea. Their attempts to sabotage start small, like loosening a ladder or hiding tools, but each attempt backfires spectacularly. Instead of making Chad and Jeremy look bad, their sabotage inadvertently creates dangerous situations that Chad and Jeremy heroically save everyone from. For example, a sabotaged cart rolls out of control, and the new workers stop it just before it hits Pops. A tool Mordecai hid causes a chain reaction that Chad fixes instantly, winning more praise. The more Mordecai and Rigby sabotage, the more heroic and impressive the newcomers appear to everyone else. Eventually, their sabotage triggers a massive accident. A huge piece of machinery malfunctions violently, causing explosions of sparks and structural collapse around the park. The chaos escalates into full regular show levels of absurdity, with enormous energy surges, machinery transforming uncontrollably, and surreal environmental distortions. Mordecai and Rigby quickly realize they started something they cannot control. Chad and Jeremy bravely attempt to contain the situation, using their quick reflexes and problem-solving skills, but the situation grows too overwhelming even for them. The climax intensifies when the malfunctioning machine grows into a towering, mechanical monster powered by wild energy. The machine begins rampaging across the park, threatening to destroy everything. Mordecai and Rigby suddenly understand that despite their mistakes, they know the park better than anyone. Using their chaotic creativity and instinctive teamwork, they leap into action. Mordecai distracts the machine with fast dodges, while Rigby navigates narrow spaces to reach the power core. Chad and Jeremy, instead of clashing with them, join forces and help create openings for them. The four of them work together, blending Mordecai and Rigby's improvisation with Chad and Jeremy's discipline. They finally manage to overload the core, causing the machine to collapse into a harmless pile of parts. The energy dissipates in a dramatic burst of light. Benson rushes in, panicked but relieved the park isn't destroyed. Mordecai and Rigby confess everything. They admit they tried sabotaging the new workers because they felt replaced. Instead of getting angry at Chad and Jeremy, Mordecai and Rigby apologize sincerely to them too. Chad and Jeremy respond with friendly understanding, explaining they were never trying to take anyone's place. They only wanted to help the park. Benson, surprisingly calm, tells Mordecai and Rigby that he was never planning to fire them. He simply wanted extra help because the park's workload had increased. He scolds them for the sabotage but acknowledges that when everything fell apart, they stepped up and saved the park. In the end, he gives them a huge list of chores as punishment but allows them to stay. The episode ends with Mordecai and Rigby reluctantly working alongside Chad and Jeremy, still insecure but slowly warming up to them. Muscle Man jealously tries to prove he's better than the newcomers, starting a new round of pointless competition while everyone else ignores him. Mordecai and Rigby share a relieved laugh as things return to normal chaos.